Nintendo Switch has finally outsold the NES system. Nintendo finally has a good, nice looking horse.
What the fuck?
Nintendo Switch is currently at 68.30 million units sold, while the NES was at 61.91. But yeah, Nintendo Switch is selling nice and good, boys. Any thoughts?
I mean, it's kind of not a surprise, and at the same time, it is, because it has been performing really well since it's come out. But at the same time, it's also had a lot of defective issues, as we've talked about.
It even outsold the Xbox One, I believe.
Yeah,
there was a good point in time because they released it like a good 2 years after the Xbox One and PS4 were released.
Yeah, so they had a good amount of time in between them, and they still sold a large amount. I think.
Yeah, there was multiple times within the year after launch where it was outselling both other consoles pretty predominantly.
Yeah, I own one myself. I play it every now and then, mainly when I play Monster Hunter. Most of the time, I usually have it on the side. I've been using it a lot more right now since my PC's down, but I think it's a good device, but it's just got some kinks in it here and there.
No, I think it's going to outsell the PS4.
Oh yeah, it's just a matter of time, really.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
I think PS4 is at 120, 102. But it's almost there. They're predicting the Switch is going to have a hell of a good holiday season this year. Because manufacturing of PS5 and Xbox Series is just not there. The demand is too high. They can't get parts.
I mean, yeah, what is it? They got. Not only is it that they're not really coming out with a newer console, but they have the Lite and they have the docking version of the Switch, and it's been a couple of years since they come out, so they should at least have a small price drop. So yeah, we're gonna see a lot of people striving for the Switch rather than the newer gen consoles and stuff like that.
Even myself.
And keep in mind too that 100 million units sold, you said, for the PS4. That's after, I assume that's all the versions of the PS4 combined, not just base PS4.
Yeah,
so
it's life sales.
That's a lot of that, or a good chunk of that, is probably people that already had a PS4 and they're buying the new version because they want a larger hard drive or a faster CPU or stuff like that. Whereas the Switch, there's only two versions. It's just the Switch and the Switch Lite, unless you're including the Animal Crossing version of the Switch and stuff like that, but they don't offer anything technically different. They just look funny.
Funny you mentioned Animal Crossing Switch, because that's the one I'm looking at buying. It's so adorable looking.
Also, funny enough, bringing up Animal Crossing, that's probably the reason for a good chunk of the 68 million units sold too.
Oh yeah, imagine how many people literally were playing this game during this COVID shutdown.
No,
there's just so much people fucking around. They're creating their own villages. They're literally showing them off and having on channels and communities on the internet where they get together and they all visit each other's islands. It's really cool.
Also missing Joe Biden.
No, well, let's subtract that. All right, that's where you insert the record scratch, and we're just all right, back it up a couple steps.
and it came out at the this is gonna sound shitty, but it came out at the perfect time during the oh Jesus fucking Christ, cut that out. Pandemic, God, because it was right where everyone was starting to actually shut down everyone was like, well shit, what do I do now? And then everyone simultaneously, without saying anything, was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get a Switch now, right?
It was okay at the time. Yeah, when everything was shutting down, there was literally two games that people spent a shit ton of time playing: Animal Crossing or Doom, because they came out at the same time. And for some reason,
same day.
Yeah. Again, because the fandoms for both of them are fucking huge, and they're actually linked. There's just so much artwork and fan art.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. It's so good.
Animations and stuff like that, where you have Belle just running around with the freaking shotgun, capping people. It's hilarious, and that's why people love it.
Also, when you think about it, the Switch shortage didn't really happen until the pandemic hit the highest.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
So I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, man, even myself, I'm about to buy one if I don't get a PS5 in a couple of days. They're releasing some more on the 2nd, on the 12th.
Yeah, no, like the Switch shortage you said. Like you said. I have like different languages all coming out at once. The Switch shortage you said. I had a coworker who was trying for a couple of months during the pandemic to try to get a Switch because he was in town, already home from the university and some other state, and he was like, I don't have anything but this old Xbox 360. I've been trying to get a Switch for a while, but they're sold out every website I go to and every GameStop he's been to. So like, yeah, there's a lot of people buying them up during all this.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm about to drop, I'm buying that, Animal Crossing Switch. I know me and Keyring was talking about playing some Mario Party.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, I got Mario Party. What's up?
So I'm thinking about buying Mario Party and Splatoon. I don't know about you, but I love Splatoon.
This man said I'm getting Splatoon. Okay,
listen,
6-year-old, back it up.
Whoa.
He
Listen here.
loves Splatoon apparently.
Dude, Splatoon is a really fun game.
What's next? I feel. You know what? I like Splatoon screams. It screams. I have a box set of every season of Adventure Time.
Hey, listen. Maybe he does.
I just,
feel like they're connected somehow.
I just think I think it's a fun game. I'm also I'm grabbing Xenoblade.
Okay.
I've heard that it's one of the best RPGs. I just never played it.
I'm still waiting for that new Monster Hunter game they're releasing on the Switch.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the trailers for that thing? They literally have this zip bug, so now you can have a bug appear in a certain spot above the monster's head, and you zip up to it with a zip line effect, and then you can combo into an attack with that. I seen this guy literally zip up in front of the monster's face, do a backflip, and then jump forward mid-air with his katana and slice that fucker in the face. That's fucking badass.
That almost gives me a boner.
Only 2 joysticks at a time, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes it drifts. Super on subject to Nintendo. What's your favorite Nintendo console of all time, guys?
Who's gonna go first?
I'll let you go ahead and go first.
Mine's a tie between DS and SNES.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you on the DS, but the other one that it's a tie with for me would be the Game Boy Advanced SP.
SP was pretty cool.
Yeah, the SP was my shit, dude. I had so many games for it. There was this little secret cutout in our closet back in Colorado, and there was a little room behind it. And I would always go in there with my older brothers, and we would just sit in there, just all creepily playing video games in this small, dark, cramped room. So you're just picturing 3 little brown Mexican boys in the dark with their Game Boy Advance SPs, and you're just hearing Sonic and Knuckles in the background, or Pokemon battles every now and then.
A single candle in the middle of the room on a plate, and you're all just sitting there.
You walk past my closet and you hear Lavender Town music.
That sounds like a scene from The Orphanage.
Oh man.
So I think for me, the only Game Boy I ever owned. Well, I owned 3. I have the original. I have the Advance, and I owned the Micro when I was a kid. By the way, the Micro is a piece of shit. I did not.
No, yeah, we all know that. It looks like a McDonald's toy.
It really does.
No, you know those fucking Tails basketball. Sonic
those, they really are the ones that have 3 or 4 buttons, and they have or there's the ones with the 2 buttons, and then you're you had to tap this button to turn to the right, or this one to turn to the left to get to the end of the castle to fight the monster. And I'm
and it's Game & Watch graphics.
Yeah, and at that point you would rather have Game & Watch.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm just trying to think. My favorite Nintendo console. I think if I had to pick one, I would go with the 64 because I'm old.
The 64 was really nice.
64. So my very first console, was a Super Nintendo, but it wasn't mine. It was necessarily until much later. It was my grandparents. But the 64 was a birthday present for me when I was a kid. When it I would say a year or two after it released. My first games I ever had was funny enough. Lucci's gonna get a laugh out of this. One of my first games I ever had was South Park Rally.
It started young, didn't it?
Yeah. South Park Rally, Mario 64. I even remember playing Mario's Golf and Tennis, the sports titles, and also even the GameCube. Those Mario basketball, NBA Jam and whatnot. Those games are so fun. And then if I had to pick one, 64 for sure. A beautiful system. It was except for a controller. The controller had 3 dildos at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say controller's a little bit of a not good.
The only way that's the only off-putting thing for me on the 64. But in the aspect of it all, I would still choose the GameCube over the 64 just because I like the GameCube controller. I like the games they had on the GameCube, and I mean, to be honest, it was kind of less janky when it came to breaking apart. It was a little more durable, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. All the games on GameCube basically acted as upgraded versions, but not remasters of 64 games.
Yeah, they still had Pokemon games, they still had Mario games, they had Sonic games still. They even went as far as to throwing in RPGs and Mega Man and stuff like that. And Mega Man is shit from back in the day.
Everybody fucking sleeps on, but is so good on the GameCube?
Huh.
Pac-Man Worlds.
Yes!
Dude!
Yes! You just unlocked secret memories in my fucking head, dude. Oh my god, I love playing that game.
I have a shitty memory, but I remember going to Walmart in Ohio. And we got to pick one game. We had a PS2 and a GameCube at the house. For whatever reason, I picked Pac-Man Worlds. And my stepbrother at the time, he picked Spyro. I played the shit out of Pac-Man. I thought it was gonna, for whatever reason, I thought when I bought it, I thought it was just gonna be one of those typical arcade games because I was 9
That's what I thought too, yeah. But no, it was so different and it was so worth it in a way because it was fun and it was you could have gone literally to different worlds and stuff like that. And there was that beach planet place and stuff. Then there was all these weird maps. Eventually you would have to do some parkour as Pac-Man.
Oh, do you guys remember the frog boss where he had a golden uvula that you had to go punch?
Yeah. Because then with them, his attack moves were the slam, but he would turn into the ball icon and slam down, and he would just straight up go over there and actually deck something with his full-on swing. Did they release a second to that one, or am I just tripping?
I think there's a Pac-Man Worlds 2 as well.
I'm not 100% sure. We have some more time, don't we?
Yeah, I'm cool with whatever. We could always trim off whatever we feel is unnecessary.
Okay, I have another one. Another quick question for you guys.
Sure.
There's been a lot of speculation, even from people from Wall Street, saying that the Nintendo is secretly working on a Switch Pro, quote unquote. For the system for Nintendo to keep releasing new games or in third-party support, is this viable in your own opinion?
I think in fact it is actually a good move if they do release a Switch Pro. Because think about it, if they do release a Switch Pro, it's a chance at making up to all of the mistakes they had on the original Switch when it released, as well as making up for the Joy-Con mistakes. And for all we know, it could even include voice chat for once.
Except for using a fucking app.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also saying, oh, by the way, though, you can only use the app for literally 3 games.
Hey, one of those games was Splatoon, by the way.
Shut the hell up. If I hear Splatoon one more time, I swear.
Splatoon, bitch.
I'm deleting the channel.
Oh, fuck. There we go. Copyrighted. I would say, like, if we look at how the Switch is, I think the most important thing for the Switch and how it's become so wildly popular is you got these massive AAA games. Let's go like through them. Like you got Doom, Skyrim. We already mentioned a shit ton of Nintendo-based properties, but that's not really what I'm focusing on.
Witcher.
Witcher's on it. Even though, I mean, it's amazing to think we have these AAA games that are on a system that they have no business being on, if we be completely honest, when it comes to hardware. It's really amazing. But there's been a lot of talks in the gaming community lately that next gen's here. We have a PS5 and Xbox Series S or X. You can call it Series X if you really wanted to. Xbox X. Let's go. But we're getting a lot of these games that are now pushing like hardware limits more than they were last gen now. And there's been a lot of concern in the community that hey, the new Elder Scrolls 6 may not even be playable on the Switch just because it's graphically and it's going to be too difficult to port it.
Yeah, those mountains and trees look pretty hardcore.
Well, they're gonna lose budget in half of the Game Watch if the lawsuit goes through with the what was it, Ragnarok Publishers?
Oh yeah,
because they're suing for $100 million. So yeah. I mean, they're gonna have to. Well, obviously, that's not gonna come out. Well, it could come out right away from them, but like, it's not going to really affect Elder Scrolls 6 and its release and such.
You got to keep in mind, though, Microsoft did just buy them, so they're probably just going to be like, okay.
But here's the thing: the acquisition isn't until the 2021, until like I think April 2021.
Oh.
So that's when that finalizes. So before that finishes off, this is going to be still ongoing, and this has been ongoing since last year. So this has a chance of finishing before the acquisition.
I mean, there's nothing really stopping them though from just being like, yeah, we're going to own you soon. Here's the money. Don't worry about it.
Yes and no, because this also involves the fact that like, so I won't go into the pure detail of the case yet because we have a whole separate video of that. But it essentially Microsoft can bail them out if they want. It's just a little difficult.
But like, I guess the question pretty much is like, does Nintendo have to upgrade their console to be relevant?
I think they had to do some upgrades because first off, when I got my console, the first game I got was the Breath of the Wild. That already filled up the entire memory capacity of the Switch without an SD card. Like, you gotta have at least more starting memory than 20 gigs.
Hey, that's true. That's very true. I think a Switch Pro is needed though, especially for these next gen games coming out. I just don't think it'll work.
I would agree that it's needed, but I'm not like concerned for it because I mean, like we were talking about earlier, some of the other consoles that we liked, they're all essentially upgrades. There's the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Advance SP. Advance and SP are what everyone had, basically.
Yep.
And they're literally just upgrades of the Game Boy.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously, what was it, the Game Boy that needed, like, the light screen, like, the actual light that you needed to light on the screen and all that stuff. And then they also had color over it. Well, they had color. And then
you look at the DS. The DS lasted, like, 10-15 years just because they kept upgrading it.
It started off as a fat slab of a mini computer, and then it turned into thinner and like cleaner.
DS Lite, DSi, DSi Lite, 3DS Lite.
Well, then they also had like the DSi XL and all that stuff for people with bigger hands and stuff.
And then there was the fucking 3DS XL New Plus or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, and then they dragged it out all the way to where they basically made it a basic ugly handheld again, where it went to the 2D XL, which was the 2D XL was stupid because it wasn't even the same design as the 2D. It was the 3D XL plus, but with like an extra plus behind it. So it's like the dude asked for extra medium, and they got the like a
2DS that you could fold, which
that's what I'm saying.
The purpose.
That's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't even the same design as the original 2DS. It was a 3DS, but like 3 times bigger.
I have a theory. I have a conspiracy theory.
Hold up 1 second. Didn't the 2DS that could like flip? Didn't it have like, you know, those Nerf cases you could put on your DS?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Didn't it basically look like that?
It did. It really did. It looked like it was like a fucking U-pad if you were trying to like fucking roleplay or LARP out some fucking COD gameplay in the fucking square parking lot or something like that. And you just pull out like UAV going live.
Okay. My point is, they know how to upgrade their system to be to not to the degree of Xbox and PS4, where it's always just, okay, there's more RAM, there's more storage. This one doesn't have a disk drive, so it's cheaper. They always do it to where it's like, look, there's a fucking new joystick on the back of it, and you can play 2 games at once and bullshit like that.
They added like the camera stick to the 3DS.
Yeah,
that was a good idea too, because it actually did help out in some games.
They added more bumpers too.
Yeah, that is true. And it helped out with a lot of things. It actually converted pretty well over when you played regular DS games on it too.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do come out with like a new version of the Switch, like Switch Pro or whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't be surprised if like the Joy-Cons are bigger, the hardware in them is better. You know what they need to fucking do that pisses me off? You can't turn off vibration on them or Pro controllers. And it's so annoying, dude. Oh my god.
Well, wasn't that one of their main selling points too? It was like HD vibration.
Yeah, but you can't turn the shit off, and that kills the controllers.
Yeah, it does kill them so quick, dude. You can literally pull them off of after having them charged, and like I have like the Joy-Con charger separate from it, so that when I actually charge my Switch, I take them off and I dock them onto the Joy-Con charger.
Yeah.
And they still die quick as fuck. I don't give a damn what you say. I got 4 Joy-Cons, and they still I'll swap them out. By the time that they die, I go to put the other ones on, and they still haven't fully charged the other ones by the time those die too.
Also, I feel like the Switch needs like a UI update, you know? It's just kind of bland at this point. It's just squares.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Nintendo has always been behind when it came to like
let's look at the 3DS, the DSi, the Wii, and the Wii U. They've all used basically the same square panel background.
True, but they didn't offer the same things as they say they offer with the Switch, you know? With the Switch, they've really opened up to like online play.
It's about time, by the way.
Right, because they still didn't have they really didn't have an online service during the Wii days.
Oh yeah, of course they did. Remember, we talked about this. You gave me some of shit for it. Me and fucking Call of Duty war on the fucking Wii. Let's go.
But it wasn't like a dedicated they had their servers. They had stuff set up. They had nothing like Xbox Live or PSN.
Oh god,
it was just Nintendo Online, which was basically just connect your router to your fucking Wii and see if it works.
Yeah, pretty.
I don't know if you remember this or not, but on the Wii, there was like a news show they had every week.
Yeah.
Those things used to be so entertaining.
I didn't know how internet worked, so I didn't have internet on my Wii.
Oh yeah, because you was like 6.
You know what I'd fucking do? We had photos from when we went to the zoo, and I would turn it into a puzzle, and then I would fucking finish that shit.
Hey, you know what?
You know.
That's good.
And then I'd play Force Unleashed 2, and I'd fucking sweat my balls off. God. When I was... Okay, I'm gonna go on a tiny little rant for like 10 seconds real quick. Holy shit. Do you know how pissed I was to learn that the that the Force Unleashed wasn't a Wii exclusive, that I could have gotten it on my 360? I was out there fucking swinging my arms in the middle of the living room for like 2 hours straight every fucking day, sweating so bad just to kill something that's not fucking real, just to jump on a fucking Rancor's back and stab it in the head, dude. I had to fucking do a fucking marching band routine, bro.
How did you not know the Force Unleashed was on any other console?
And I didn't find out until like 5 years after the fact.
Oh my God.
To know, and they just recently, like maybe it was sometime early this year or last year, they released as one of the free games for Xbox Live, the Force Unleashed. And I was playing that shit, I was like, holy shit. If I was playing this as a kid on the fucking Wii, like 30 minutes in, I was like, I would have to put the controllers down and get a drink by now. What the fuck?
Bro, I'm crying. I've literally never met anyone who's played The Force Unleashed on the fucking Wii.
That shit was so hard.
Every single person I've ever met that's played the game has either played it on Xbox or like at this point, like I think you can get it on PC. God,
it feels like a completely different game, bro.
No, that's hilarious. I was oh God, I got tears in my eyes.
You know, we shouldn't have played competitive COD on the Wii.
Okay,
playing World at War on the Wii.
We didn't have a lot of games for the Wii. One of the games that we definitely did have was the Michael Jackson dance along game.
Oh Jesus Christ!
That explains so much.
I will proudly hold the fucking high score for Billie Jean until this day. And if someone wants to come up and show me up, I'm gonna fucking dance all over them like this is some fucking Thriller shit, because you're gonna be dead. I'm just saying, man. I played that game way too much for a person who was not enthusiastic about having it at all. At one point, I'm singing with a song and I'm dancing and I'm like, "Fucking Thriller."
Remember when they fucking at E3 last year, they announced that the newest Just Dance was going to be the last game ever released for the original Wii?
There's still memes about that to this day.
Just Dance 2020 released on the fucking Wii.
Hey, you know what? If it makes them money, why not?
The moment
people still have Wii, so I mean, I still have a Wii somewhere.
I actually have one still. That's in my living room.
I've been wanting to get a Wii U, to be fair.
That's why I said anyone who challenges me, pull up, I'll fucking dance your ass to death. What's up?
Well, we definitely kind of went on a tangent there.
Whoops. We got a Switch, am I right, guys?
The Michael Jackson Switch. Wait, too soon?
Oh, damn.
But yeah, Switch is reaching new heights. We'll see what happens with Nintendo, especially with this lawsuit going on. I wonder what's going to happen with them. They have to make a new console at this point.
Oh yeah,
just to keep up. You got to keep, even if it's just a bare minimum, it had to keep up some way somehow.
But yeah, despite their defects and despite their lesser means of most of their things that they handle, they've been holding themselves off for the last couple of years, and they've been making really good amounts of sales.
Yeah, money talks, man. All right, I think we're gonna call it here.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe.
Or Lucci will kill you.
I guess I've been employed at this point. All right. I seen there was only like 4 likes on our last video. I got a lot of people to be killing if you guys ain't got this going on.
2 of those likes were 2 of the people in this call.
Hey, listen. That just means I don't have to commit suicide. Yet.
All right,
Did you like that video yet, by the way?
Catch myself slipping on like. Take it easy.